Hey Cameron, how are you?
I'm great.
Great to have you here on the Coin Nation Summit. You represent for me the future of the NFTs and where is it going. I have lots of questions
Uh,
to ask you, of course, about the film and other stuff. But before we start, maybe you can tell us about you, your role in the company, and everything that brought you here.
Sounds great. Well, first, thanks so much for having me, and congratulations on what looks like is going to be an incredible summit for you guys. Yeah, my background, I'm a serial entrepreneur for 30 plus years. I've been in crypto since 16 and since 2016, and love the space. I think it's beyond revolutionary what it's going to do. It's evolutionary. It's a huge part of yeah, what I think will set the foundation of future organizations and how we contemplate interacting with each other. The implications are much more deep than just the technology at hand. And so we formed up a company called CurrencyWorks in 2016 to actually build out blockchain. And at that time, we were really looking at building a blockchain and really trying to understand how we could have an impact in the space. And so CurrencyWorks is what we call an enterprise, what we refer to anyway as an enterprise blockchain. And so it doesn't have an open developer community. We do everything ourselves generally for enterprise type clients who, despite might want to live and work and breathe in a decentralized society and community and economy, still have to adhere to regulatory compliance and just the nature of their business or consumer protection laws or whatever. And so what we try to do with our blockchain is bridge that gap so that they have the advantages of what blockchain brings to the table, but they can still operate within the regulatory environments that they're either constrained or governed by.
What kind of companies, just give us a sense so people will understand, what kind of companies reach to you?
So the types of companies that we typically work with are Fortune 5,000 type companies who might have specific issues around wanting to build loyalty programs on blockchain, or want to build payment systems on blockchain, or want to build coins, right, to utilize with their ecosystem. So treasurers of these companies might come to us and say, hey, we'd love to have a blockchain to handle our payments or our supply chain or logistics or things like that. But of course, all of those things have to work within their already existing, banking operations and such. And so those are the types of things that we build out. And as it relates to NFTs, same idea. A lot of companies want to participate in the NFT market. They think it can bring a lot of great things to their customers and to their clients and to their partners. But they have KYC matters they have to deal with, know your client issues or anti-money laundering issues. And so how do you bridge this incredible community of NFT buyers and NFT enthusiasts and crypto enthusiasts with the requirements that, the corporate world, just inevitably has to deal with?
Yeah, I saw several projects shown on your website. The recently is, of course, the film that everybody is talking about right now. Is it the first film, by the way, that goes with an NFT?
Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, and I think certainly commercially now, the CurrencyWorks blockchain is the only blockchain that has, been able to launch a film as an NFT. So while you may be able to do auctions of NFTs, on other marketplace platforms, being actually able to run that NFT of that kind of massive scale is something that we've specialized in on CurrencyWorks. So to our knowledge, there are other film projects out there, mostly around funding and things like that. And what we've really tried to endeavor to build at Viewly, which is our movie digital collectible memorabilia platform, which allows people to actually buy, sell, trade, and view this content. That's was really our objective, was to build a Netflix of movie NFTs. So it doesn't compete with Netflix. It's a very different type of market, but the experience would be quite the same. So kind of similar to what Dapper has been so successfully able to do with the NBA. It's a curated environment. where you come in there, and certainly you can use crypto, but you can use credit cards, you can use e-transfer, and you've got a community within, that community that's actually really actively building and working and curating the experience. And so that's what we've endeavored to do with two platforms. One is called Moto Club, where we did a partnership with Barrett-Jackson, which is the dominant, car collector auction, brand, certainly in North America, if not the world. And then, of course, with Enterby Entertainment, which is a very successful production company out of Hollywood. And so we partnered up on this movie with Anthony Hopkins to launch it as the first full feature NFT.
And how was the experience from the user perspective? Give us some data so people will understand.
Yeah, so the user experience that someone will have when they go to have a movie NFT on Viewly would be very similar to a Netflix type of experience. So when you go in and you sign up on an account, it would be very similar to signing up like a Stripe account or a Circle account or a PayPal or a Netflix account. But actually, when you do that, you're actually setting up a crypto wallet. Now, you don't necessarily have to have a contemplation that it's a crypto wallet. You don't have a 16-bit encryption code. You don't have, all of that harrowing experience that, other than, the incredible, crypto community understands and gets, that the general, population just, is as having a tough time grasping. And so that's kind of the first step. And then once you're in there, you have the ability to participate in auctions on the marketplace, or you have the ability to participate in drops that are coming down of the movies, or new outtakes, or new interviews with the actors or the directors or such. And all of that becomes, digital collectible content that can then be bought and sold, on the marketplace. But you also have a viewing area. So you have the ability on Viewly to actually watch that movie there at that same time. And as an NFT, that's the only place that you'll be able to do that. So the NFT version that you have and the bundle that comes with it is never going to be available in theaters, and is never going to be available on streaming. Now, the movie, it has a theatrical release planned. And it has, a streaming release, planned, and domestic and international markets have and or are buying the movie for sure. But the NFTs that are bought on Viewly are truly unique, and they're the only NFTs that are available. So, I'm a slight bit of a movie buff, and I would love to own one of the original, copies, if you will, of Pulp Fiction, for example. I mean, it would just, which might have, some different outtakes, or maybe some different actors' lines in it, or interviews with the John Travolta or whoever, in that movie at that time of his life, in the context of what was happening in the world at that time. It really can become a collector item. And I think about, geez, if I had that kind of stuff for some of the great classics that have happened, they would be very valuable. I think they'd be in high demand. We used to collect DVDs, we used to collect, Blu-ray discs. There's a sense of ownership that we like to have. And I think this is an adjunct market and revenue stream for Hollywood that indications are they're pretty excited about.
You convinced me already from the start, from the endless opportunities here. And who's in charge of all the storytelling and being creative? Where is this coming from? From the brand side?
Yeah, so, well, obviously the movies themselves, that's done by the producers and the directors and that type of stuff. And then so what happens is they come to Viewly, which is a subsidiary of CurrencyWorks, and we have an amazing team there that looks at are going to work, what are they going to onboard, what does the NFT look like, what is the community asking for, what should we bundle into this, what's going to have true long-term value, those types of things. So at that point it becomes a collaborative a piece of work with the producers and the directors and then the creatives at Viewly. And they come up with a plan. Okay, this is what the drops are going to look like. This is how many we're going to mint. This is how the economics will work. And then they go and they publish. So, probably very similar to what Dapper does with the NBA. When they're looking at, okay, what highlights are they going to do? What's got demand out there? What do people really want to see? What angles can we take? Unbelievable.
I can talk with you for hours about the opportunities, which leads me to the most important question, of course. Where do you see this going? And by the way, what was the feedback that you got from other brands that are reaching to you after this recent film? I know you did other projects before, but tell me about the feedback after something like this.
Yeah, so first of all, CurrencyWorks is a public company. We trade on the OTC, CWRK, and is our symbol. And so, we have the luxury of treating this as a long-term project as to what we're going to build. So we weren't trying to drive maximum revenue out of this. Not that if that doesn't happen, it's not a good thing, but we're really very clearly trying to establish a revenue model for Hollywood. We're really trying to demonstrate to Hollywood that, if you do a movie NFT, it is incremental revenue for your movie. It doesn't take away from traditional distribution. It doesn't take away from streaming or theatrical release. In fact, it enhances it. And I think what we've done here, being very lucky to have such credible players involved, and Sir Anthony Hopkins, on board with the project and really, really enthusiastic about it. I think what we've done in selling these NFTs, the two first auctions for $190,000
Wow.
to some very well-known crypto buyers, right? So who happen to also be movie fans and Anthony Hopkins fans and things like that. So I think what we've done with Hollywood is that we've demonstrated, or we're well down the path anyway, hopefully, of demonstrating that this is an important new revenue stream that is great for fan engagement. Draws people deeper into their movie and into their storytelling, increases their revenue potential, and is very trackable in terms of that revenue. So as these continue to trade, there's actual compensation that goes back to the creatives, goes back to those people that should be benefited for this incredible work that they've done. So we're overwhelmed in a good way with the right brands having come to us, being studios, producers, directors, agencies, coming to us and saying, okay, we get it, and now we'd like to onboard. So we certainly have contemplation to onboard a couple more films over the next 2 quarters, continue to work through our process, continue to understand how to develop a great product, how to engage with the community, understand what they want and how that works. And then in doing so, we feel that about 2 or 3 quarters from now, we'll really be able to scale this thing. The expertise that we've learned, technically this is very difficult, but the real expertise that we've gained is in rights management. How do you manage with the right? What we did, we actually bought this film, right? We didn't just go out and do a deal. We had to buy this film because we wanted to do, the equivalent of NBA Top Shots in the movie industry.
Also legally,
yeah. The only way we talked to lots of studios and we got lots of enthusiasm, but when we really got down into the nuts and bolts of working with the rights management and distribution management issues later, and actors' rights now, and likeness, personality rights, and it was harrowing. We just collaboratively realized that none of us could get it all done because we just didn't know the answers. So we ended up buying this movie, right? We went into competition, bid for it, got it, bought this movie, and so that we would have the creative license to be able to manage through all the rights issues. And the biggest thing that we talk about now with the content that's onboarding in our studio clients and producers is actually, it's more educational. Like, this is how the rights are going to work. This is what we've learned. This is what we can do. This is what we can't do. What do you think about? And so I think as we move forward, in order to scale the business, that's our biggest strategic advantage right now, is that we have a little bit of experience.
It is what you learned, what you accumulated, not only in this project, another project, worth a lot for all these brands, the regulation, everything you talked about. It's time, and time is money, and experience, and so it's critical in this space. It's critical in this space.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Dapper Labs and others. Of course, we have them on the summit, and thank you for giving us the front seat to understand where is it going also, because a lot of people here, we have Visa bought a CryptoPunk, and they wanted their own people to start opening wallets, to start experiencing, because you cannot talk about crypto without using it, and NFTs and everything. And that's something I love about the leadership of Visa right now, which I wouldn't imagine that an organization like that will go forward with everything, and it's amazing, what they're doing. And we have others, and you mentioned Flow blockchain, and with Dapper Labs, and the whole NBA, now the NFL that they're doing. It's unbelievable. I mean, and maybe like the during COVID, I guess people didn't go to theaters, and this is like a second chance for the whole industry, a real chance to build a new future. I mean, that puts you and your company at the forefront of this new evolution in the movie space, for example. It's unbelievable.
I think so too. I certainly hope so. It's very challenging. It is incredibly challenging, but man, it is rewarding, and the potential and the upside is certainly worth it. But more importantly, it's just really great creative work. I think the whole blockchain movement, the crypto movement, the NFT movement, if it has not done 1,000 things, the one thing that I've really tangibly seen it do to the corporate world is it is right, wrong, and different for all the good reasons. It is forcing the corporate world to identify specifically with its users and its community. So, you talk about the leadership of Visa. They're like, we just can't go by. Like, we have to do it. We have to be involved. Like distributed ledger really it forces authenticity, right? And it flushes out when you're not authentic so quickly. And so we see companies like Visa, taking these bold moves to really be deeply involved, because they know it's the only way, one, they'll understand, and two, they'll be accepted. And I think that, distributed ledger technology, just on a psychology and a sentiment level, is just that alone is just such a titanic shift in corporate culture.
Exactly. Well, amazing. I have to tell you, I interviewed so many. I'm honest with you. This is inspiring. This is super critical for our summit. I'm so happy that we even met. We met because of the press you had for the film, but you're doing much more than that before and after. And where can people learn about the company and everything that you in person? Where is the best place to look it up? LinkedIn or other social networks?
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, I mean, we're doing our best to be all over social. Viewly's got a strong Discord channel, of course, but probably two good places to start would be CurrencyWorks.io and Viewly, spelled VUELE.io. And we're more than happy to engage with the community and learn more. We don't know, and sometimes I don't know that we know what we're doing, but we're working hard at it, and we seem to be making the right steps. And thank you so much for your consideration, your gracious time.
And, I think we can do it. We both of us can do a whole summit just about that. A whole summit just about that, bringing the industry together. What's unique about this summit is that we are calling it a matchmaking event. So people are meeting here while we talk to do business. That's the idea, a matchathon. It's like a marketplace full of companies and leaders like yourself to work together, actually. And they're meeting for 15 minutes to collaborate, to do partnerships and stuff like that. So I encourage you and your team to take advantage of this. I will personally love to make the introductions.
Oh, are you kidding? I'm all over it. Near anything I can do to support. And of course, selfishly, anything I can do to garner your insight and introductions from people would be amazing.
Amazing. Thank you very, very much.